Once upon a time, there was a small town called Hardalushita. It was at the center of a shallow canyon where two rivers met. Being as the name was such a mouthful, most folks took to calling it the Heart. And although at last count there was only about 720 folks in the town, the Heart was pumping.
We're living life, we're feeling fine, do 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 do. We're living life, we're doing fine, do 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 do.
Good morning, Mrs. Green. You living life?
Why, yes, I'm doing just fine. My bursitis is acting up, so it must be springtime coming.
Howdy, y'all. We got the sweetest deals this side of Hardalushita. Tell you what, I'll throw in this here wiper spray to sweeten the pot.
Pot of gold, I tell you. Profits are through the roof, so I suggest we diversify.
Rufus, get out of that flower bed this instant.
Earl, you forgot your lunch again. Oh, I was gonna get everything in this
That
house.
right there is a box elder bug. You can tell them by the color pattern and the way the wings stretch across the back. There aren't many in these parts on account of there's not any box elder trees around here. But don't step on them though. They give off a right awful smell if you do. I heard the NASA's gonna use your robotic soil analyzer on the next Mars mission. Oh, that's just a prototype.
Alexandria, what's the weather gonna be like today?
The weather will be 78 degrees.
Well then, start up my tractor on the south lot and execute harvest sequence 21 wins.
I got trout and I got trout. Which one you want?
Oh, now, officer, you know I was just making a quick stop. I wasn't gonna stay. Willa Mae, that's you?
That is a $50 fine, Jed.
What? Oh, come on, Willa Mae. You're killing me.
Of course, even with all the advancements in living life, the Heart had its share of heartache. Like the saying goes, you may look with your first eye and see one thing, but it's the second eye what gets the full picture. Now take for instance Mrs. Nadine Reynolds owns the local diner. Her first child drowned in the river. The second one, no one right know what happened. Then she lost her husband and the other two kids in a car accident. Lord have mercy. No one thought she would even make it. And after 3 years, she still ain't quite right. Miss Arliss McIntyre, now there's a story. If you took away all the worry in the world, she could still find some. Most days she works as a nurse at the local hospital. One minute she's going fine. The next she's worried about paying her bills or catching a sickness, or God forbid making a mistake at the hospital that cost someone's life. That anxiety gets her completely paralyzed, and she can't do nothing for days. Now, Reverend Nathaniel Rosewood, raised right here in Hardalushita, back when he was 8, said the Lord called him to be a minister. Well, that set him on a track. So when Annie Mae Flint told him he had to choose because she wasn't going to marry no preacher, he said bye. And when he got that college offer, but they said he couldn't do religious studies, he said, I'll pass. He was determined to preach for the Lord. But after 10 years, things still hadn't turned out quite like he visioned. It was one disappointment and unanswered prayer after another. It about took the fire right out of him. Some say Sarah Staples had a heart of stone. She could cut you with a look from her eye. It's true. But you couldn't really fault her none. It started when her brother Reuben was over in Shuckstapaw County. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time and got arrested for something everybody knowed he didn't do. Sarah tried her best to find justice for him, but kept running into a system full of greed, deception, and more injustice everywhere. Her brother spent 7 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and no one seemed to care. So she don't care about them neither. Cherry Lancaster was determined to leave Hardalushita. She told her mama she was leaving and ran away at 18 with a man on a motorcycle, and no one heard from her for years. It was a shock when she showed up back in town. She weren't the same person no more. She had that kind of hard living face. But she never told nobody what happened. Mostly she kept to herself and did odd jobs around town. We could go on and on talking about all the folks in town. The particulars were different, but the stories were always the same. Everybody in the heart had aches. And every night, as dark settled in, if you listen real close, you could hear.
When I lay me down to sleep, there's no one next to me. Where's the patter of little feet? Please tell me it's a dream.
As I get ready for bed, these thoughts won't leave my head. Why is everyone passing me by? Has my whole life been a lie?
As I turn in for the night, I can't help but wonder why. Everything seems to be a fight, and we ain't never treated right.
Just before I close my eyes, I feel my heartbeat rise. Anxiety creeping in and another attack begins.
I don't like nights like this, 'cause my mind will reminisce about the darkness of my past. Will these feelings ever pass? In the darkness, in the cool of the night, you can hear it, the sound of a heart that is longing for more.
How can I keep hiding my pain?
I don't think I'll ever trust again.
I just can't take no more grief.
This hurts so much, I just want relief.
Can you hear
Who can I tell? Where can I turn?
Can you
Don't nobody know how much it hurt.
I don't know if I can bear it anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
Can you hear me? Can you help me? I don't know if I can bear it anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
In the darkness, in the cool of the night, you can hear it, the sound of a heart that is longing for more. The shame is too much, I just want to die.
I feel so alone, I just want to cry.
Sadness so strong, will I ever be whole?
Fear takes a hold and it's choking my soul.
Can you hear
Who can I tell? Where can I turn?
Can you
Don't nobody know how much it hurt.
I don't know.
How can I keep hiding my pain?
If I can.
I can't take it anymore.
One morning, a stranger strolled into town, decked out from head to toe with all those city slicker styles, and greeted everyone she passed by. Then she walked into Nadine's diner and sat at the counter.
This sure seems like a friendly town. I feel like I could really put some roots down.
Well, it's true, this is a fine place to be. Where are you from originally?
Oh, here and there. What can you tell me about that vacant property across the way?
Why, you looking to move in?
Actually, yes, I think I'll stay.
I didn't catch your name.
Ms. Belinda Johnson. The Devil is what most folks call me. And fulfilling desires is my specialty. You see, I run an apothecary where I make elixirs from the rare and exotic devil tree. My card.
Well, just like that, the mysterious newcomer set up shop right smack in the middle of Main Street. She sold all kinds of things made from that devil tree. And for the first week, it was all free. And just like any other town, free brings folks out the woodworks. But after the first day, things started to get a little strange. Folks wasn't quite sure. They just know they wanted some more.
Here comes the devil. Here comes the devil. Here comes the devil. Here comes the devil. I've got juices, tonics, and teas, all designed to make you pleased. Pain-free and perfectly fine. So you can live life, so you can wine and dine. Here you go, have one more. In fact, please have 3, have 4. This deviltry nectar will make everything better. The more of it you have, the looser your fetters. Drink to your heart's delight. Drink all day, drink all night. Bottoms up, here I'll pour. I've got the answers you're searching for. Give your heart to me and I guarantee to rid you of your fears. No more problems, no more tears.
Here comes the devil, here comes the devil, here comes the devil, here comes the devil.
Turn it up like you lost your mind. Raise your glasses high in the sky. It's your pain I amplify. Elevate, I mean eliminate. I've created a toxic taste, so from your pain you can't escape. Maybe I should just demonstrate. That may make it easier to explain. Start off with some deep regret. Seems innocent enough, but wait, not yet. Add a healthy dose of shame. You know you only have yourself to blame. One loss led to more. The pain too great to bear. Let me introduce you to my companions. Total and utter despair. Do you see what I did there? From childhood dreams to nightmares. Were you led astray? Maybe you just missed it. What does an 8-year-old boy know anyway? Ooh, burn. Anxiety to full-blown panic. Your worst fears realized. You must break free from this trap. Oops, you can't. You're paralyzed. Sing it.
Here comes the devil, 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 here comes the devil.
Suckers, the heart belongs to me now. I tell you what to think and feel. I suggest that you obey, or things could really get real.
There was a saying in Hardalushita, guard your heart. Unfortunately, no one quite remembered where that came from, but they would have done good to heed it, cause D. Deborah Linda Johnson had done a number on them, and there wasn't nothing they could do about it. When the heart was that far gone, it's hard to imagine that there was any hope of saving it. Most folks couldn't even see what their problem was, but even if they could, what could they do about it? Then one afternoon, out of the blue, everyone in town got these letters that said they were from the king. The return address was heaven, and they just seemed to appear out of nowhere, in the strangest places. Rupert said he found his on the car seat. Nadine said it was on the top of her grocery bag, but all of them were addressed directly to them by name. So the town folk got together to figure out what they was gonna do.
My letter says he'll never leave me or forsake me.
He writes he can turn my mourning into joy.
All my sins can be forgiven. Apparently he doesn't know my story.
Replace my worries with peace.
Heal my depression and my grief.
Pay him no mind. His claims are beyond belief.
But wait a minute, guys. What if what he's saying is true? Shouldn't we at least give him a chance to do what he says he'll do?
Nah, we don't need him, y'all. We're just fine the way we are. Carry on with our scars. Who does he think we are? Nah, we don't need him, y'all. We're just fine the way we are. We made it this far, after all.
Nah, we don't need him, y'all.
We're just fine the way we are.
Carry on with our scars. Who does he think we are? Nah, we don't need him, y'all. We're just fine the way we are. We made it this far, after all. These promises are clearly false. Does he think we're idiots?
It's like spam. Forget it. I'm just getting rid of it.
Oh, that's a joke. Does that even exist?
These letters are so sappy, it almost makes me sick.
Before we dismiss these claims, shouldn't we first examine them? Let's take a closer look. What's the worst that can happen?
Hold on just a minute. I think we should be suspicious of these claims from some unknown king who won't even show his face.
Nah, we don't need him, y'all. We're just fine the way we are. Carry on with our scars. Who does he think we are? Nah, we don't need him, y'all. We're just fine the way we are. We made it this far, after all.
Nah, we don't need him, y'all.
We're just fine the way we are.
Carry on with our scars. Who does he think we are? Nah, we don't need him, y'all. We're just fine the way we are. We made it this far. We don't need him. We don't need him. We don't need him. Don't.
We're just fine the way we are.
Need him. We
don't need him.
don't
We're just fine the way we are.
need
This
him.
after all.
Well, the meeting ended on kind of a low note, because everyone was kind of secretly wishing it was true. But now they could see they really needed help, in between sips of the devil juice. But something in that letter struck a chord in Cherry and cut right through all of that fog in her mind. And she took to writing a letter back.
Okay. How do I say this? Alright, here goes. Excuse me, sir. I don't quite know how to say this. Should I call you King? Is that your name? Right here, you've promised things that I can't even imagine. Is this real? Or just a dream? Excuse me, sir. I don't know quite how to say this. Should I call you King? Is that your name? Here you promise things that I can't imagine. Is this real or just a dream? Promises made or promises kept? That's the question I have. Goodness knows I need help. I'm willing to give you a try, but I ain't gonna lie. It's hard to trust a guy up in the sky. Folks around here think I'm crazy, but I'm thinking just maybe I take a chance and give it to you. My heart, that is, the only part of me that's really truly me, where I am and what I'm feeling, the place inside of me that really needs the healing. Okay, maybe I've said too much. Alright, this is the hard part. One more thing before I close, and this is something that nobody knows, so promise that you won't tell a soul. Okay, here goes. I'm broken, I'm scared, and I'm hurt. Everything is not okay, it's worse. So if I am to believe in you, please show me that your love is true. Yours truly, from the heart.
The very next day, the king wrote her back. She called all the folks together to read the letter.
He wrote, I have loved you with an everlasting love. In fact, I am love, and I am the truth. And I'll always fulfill all my promises to you. I too have been broken. How well I know hurt. And I am right there beside you when you go through yours. Yours eternally, the King. So there you have it. It all sounds well and good, but I just don't understand. How does he know what we go through since he's so far away?
Now this struck a chord with Reverend Rosewood, cause that's the very thing the king told him when he was a child so long ago. And it fanned a little flicker in his heart.
I know the answer. It's the message the king told me I was supposed to preach, and all of Hardalushita would come to know him. But I lost my way. It's time to make that right. The king sent his son, Jesus, from heaven to earth so he could live among us and experience our struggles. See, he was rejected and forsaken by those he came to free. He suffered loss and heartache even before Calvary. That's where he was hung on a cross. That's where he bled and died. He felt such agony. but it was for our sins he was crucified. So why did he do it? What could his motivation be? It was his compassion for all mankind and his great love for you and me. But wait, there's more. After 3 days, he emerged from the grave, Savior of the world, but what did he leave in the cave? Our sins forgiven, our pains erased, anxiety demolished, you're no longer disgraced. Does this sound too wonderful, too hard to believe? When we trusted ourselves, where did that leave us? To our own devices, our solutions failed. Let's consider the one who has the power to heal, the heart. Now I know you might still be wondering, what does all this have to do with us and our pain today? He did it all just for us. Because of his great love, he made a way. And now, he's bringing justice to the wronged. He's healing the broken in heart. He's restoring the wounded. He's giving us a new start. He's trading us joy for our sorrow, exchanging us peace for our fear, grace for our mistakes. He's drawing us all near. There's only one question that remains. Will you answer his call? The King awaits your response.
You said peace for my fears. I'll take joy for my tears. I'm gonna trust you.
I never knew what you'd done. The unjust death of your son. I can trust you.
I need my heart healed. I believe that you will. I'll trust you.
We will give you our heart. Lord, I give you my heart. Lord, I give you my heart. I trust you.
Lord, I give you my heart again.
They had a Sunday Come to Jesus service that day, and it was the best sermon the Reverend had ever preached. Of course, they meant no disrespect, but he sounded like he knowed what he was talking about this time. The power in those words dried up that deception tree right from the root and drove that devil right out the heart. They was living life again, but this time connected to the King. Now this right here is what we call an allegory. You take what's real and kind of play with it a little bit. Now don't worry if it went right over your head. It's about Easter and the message is real important. So let's put a cap on it. You see, God sent us a letter called the Bible. He wrote all kinds of love things to us and asked us to let him in our heart. That right there would be the best thing you could ever do. It would change you forever. And once he's in there, please guard your heart.